another recap review. Today I'm going to be going over 2004 and 2005, the Flashback years. These were the years where the Traga reminisced, told the Matoran and the Toa a little bit about the past, and where we got to find out a lot of really cool things, specifically the Traga's past, not to mention the island of Metronui, and the fact that there are so many more locations that we just did not know of. This will be also a little bit of a comparison video. We're going to see, how does 2004 and 2005 stack up against each other and stack up against other years. All this and more in another exciting episode of... Oh, wait. Sorry, never mind. But we're going to find all that out this episode, and at the end, I'm going to go on another break. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the review where I go over the flashback years and we recount the legends of Metronui. Here we go. Well, let's start off with 2004, the predecessor to 2005. 2004 for Bionicle fans was fantastic. We got a slew of new colors, we got fantastic builds, we got another Bionicle movie, and overall we got a slightly different story tone, and that was really interesting to see. Now, granted, there were some flaws. Some people did not like the heavy inclusion of silver and gray and darker colors. I personally still maintain that Kreka is one of the most poorly built Titans throughout all of Bionicle, and clone sets were still very heavily featured, specifically with the Vaki. But overall, 2004 was a fantastic year. We did also get to see some world building, specifically in the grander Matoran universe, even though we did not know it was that at the time. Metronui was a slightly different place from what we were used to. It was basically Matanui, except robotic. It was a city. It was their natural element. If 2001, 2003 were a fish out of water, in that case, these guys were sharks in the ocean in Metronui. It was really nice and refreshing to see them in a place that they actually fit into. It was kind of cool to see how that world worked. We were also introduced to something that it's kind of split throughout the community. Some people like it, some people don't. We were introduced to launchers, specifically the Kanoka launchers. And that's all fine and dandy. Personally, I like launchers. Granted, they are gimmicky, especially throughout the later years. So overall, 2004, it's a really fantastic year. The Toa Metro design is still arguably one of the greatest Toa designs that we ever received. And it's just a very solid year. If you want a more in-depth review of 2004, go check out the 2004 overview for more there. So, in this battle between the two, we're going to go on next to the next year, 2005. Farewell, 2004. You're a great year and you've set us up on an interesting journey. Onward to 2005. And here we are back to 2005. Now, 2005 in comparison to 2004 was not as well received, or at least it isn't nowadays. The tone was definitely a lot darker from the prior 4 years, and the story seemed to many to be shoehorned in. This year was kind of like the return to Metronui. At the end of Legends of Metronui, everyone saw that the Matoran were rescued, the Toa turned into Traga, everyone was happy, and we could start off the story year of 2001. Unfortunately, Web of Shadows was released, and we saw that this wasn't the case. Now, 2005 brought us a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. The good things it brought us were Time Trap, which is a fantastic book, by the way, at least for Bionicle. It brought us a lot of great new pieces that would be used for years to come, specifically this little piece right here that the Visorak used extensively. It allowed us to see more of the ball and socket system that would be used for years to come. That had still been used in Technic, but this was where Bionicle started to really branch off from the Technic brand. And it also brought us a lot of special edition characters, specifically Norik, Iruni, and some characters that we still know and love to this day, specifically Kitangu and the Vizirac too. It also brought us a new color, Kitangu Orange, or Keat Orange. Granted, some people have mixed opinions regarding them. Granted, 2005 also brought us a lot of horrible things. It continued the clone set pattern. A lot of people would argue it brought us Keat Orange, as a lot of people do not like Keat Orange. It brought us the longer, more simplistic leg designs that we would also see, and simpler, gappier builds, along with a lot of gray and silver. So overall, I personally feel that it evens out, but 2005 to a lot of people is not a really great year. A reason why this might be is because 2005 was quite shoehorned in at the end. It wasn't especially necessary, and it doesn't change actually anything. You could have introduced the Vizirac in any year. The Rahaga had very little to no story significance after the fact, as well as Rudaka. Sidorak died, and Kitangu, the same thing as Rudaka. The lessons that the Toa learned were good, I guess, if they were ever implemented afterwards. So overall, the significance of 2005 is lacking, not to mention the world building. In the prior year of 2004, the world building that went on was spectacular. Not as much as like 2001 to 2003. That world building cannot be matched in Bionicle, at least not from what we've seen. But it was still good. LEGO put forth the effort. They really tried to make Mech Nui an enjoyable place. If they had made a Mech Nui online game, that would have been fantastic, sold right off the bat. Unfortunately, what 2005 did is take all the locations and all the enjoyableness of Mech Nui, the at-home feel that the Bionicle characters had, and completely wrecked it. Literally and figuratively. The Vizirac came in after the Great Cataclysm and turned it into a giant spider nest. And it was already damaged and messed up, so it already had that grim feeling. It basically took on the nice shiny uniqueness of it and wrecked it, which was quite unfortunate. So overall, 2005 is not the most enjoyable of the flashback years. In fact, it's one of people's least favorite Bionicle years in general. Would I say it's, like, horrible, completely awful, nothing good came out of it? No. Some good things came out of it. So in comparison, 2005, 2004, 2004 definitely wins out. The flashback years were interesting, as it gave us a look into the kind of gradual steps upward that Bionicle was taking. The tone shifts. 2004 was a great way to introduce us to a new system of building and greater articulation, which was fantastic. It also started us on a path that Bionicle would continue on to its end, a general, more serious tone. 2005 definitely continued this. Unfortunately, it had a lot of issues and overall had very little significance. The flashback years did, however, show us a lot. It did a lot of world building, not necessarily for Mech Nui alone, but for the entire Bionicle universe. It gave us a lot of other cool things as well, such as the Dark Hunters, the Dark Hunter Guide, the Rahi Guide, so on and so forth. So in retrospective, the flashback years were interesting. I would say a little bit of a step down from the first 3 years, at least in the case of 2005. 2004 was a spectacular year. Got a lot of world building, a lot of interesting new characters, and fantastic designs, as well as a slew of new colors. But overall, the flashback years will be fondly remembered and fondly disliked. In the end, that's about it. That's all we can do. Fondly remember them. So that about wraps it up for me. That has been 2004 and 2005, the flashback years, the remembrance years, or whatever you want to call them. I'm now going to go on a little bit of a break in order to collect a couple of things and begin reviewing one of the most highly anticipated and highly requested recap reviews that I know of to this day. Join me next time, not next week, I don't know when, but join me next time when I begin reviewing 2006. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all sometime soon. Farewell.